As the 2023 elections draws near, the need to get the PVC by most Nigerians became apparent. According to the Independent National Electoral Commission in its latest CVR update released on Monday, barely 24 hours after the official closure of the exercise, the INEC pegged the total number of fresh registrants at 10,487,972, with over 3.44 million online and 8.85 million physical registrants. The Commission said a total of 12,298,944 persons completed the CVR registration before the closure of the exercise, which started in June 2021. But there are issues yet to be resolved concerning the PVC registration, despite the closure by INEC. And joining me in our Abuja studio to unravel these issues is the National Commissioner for Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Let's start with the biggest issue concerning the preparations for the 2023 election, which is the issue of the voter registration. INEC has now officially closed voter registration. Some people have been feeling aggrieved by this, saying that the Electoral Act states not less than 90 days to the election, and it will still have more than 90 days to the election. I just want to get your reaction to that.
Well, the Commission has officially suspended the continuous voters registration exercise, and the CVR will open again after the 2023 general election. We make sure that this CVR is coming to an end to enable us carry out some other activities provided for in the electoral legal framework. Now, I think that some people have been reading Section 9, subsection 6 of the Electoral Act in a very, very literal manner. Section 9, subsection 6 of the Act says that the registration of voters, the updating of the voters register, and the revision of the voters register shall stop not later than 90 days before election. If you also look at Section 19, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022, it also provides that the Commission shall, within a period of 7 days, display the voters register for claims and objections not later than 90 days to the election. So if you read Section 9, subsection 6 literally, the implication is that we cannot carry out the display of the voters register for claims and objections. Now, we had already released the timetable, and we fixed this voters registration exercise to last for a period of 1 year. We opened the online registration portal for pre-registrants on the 28th day of June 2021. And in July, we flagged off the...
All right, Mr. Festus Okoye, I have to put you on hold. We need to take a break. When Political Standby returns, we'll continue the conversation with you. Stay with us. And thanks for staying with us. You're watching Political Standpoint. Earlier on, we were speaking with the commissioner, the National Commissioner for Voter Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye. He is of the INEC. And he was explaining to us the issues around the suspension of the registration for the voters' cards, and we had to go on break. So I will just give you time to wrap up that thought before I move to my next question.
Well, the point I was making is that we spaced out the voter registration period for a period of 1 year to enable Nigerians to turn out and register. Thereafter, we also extended the registration period from the 1st day of July to the 31st day of July 2022. Now, this commission needs time to clean up the voters' register and remove multiple and double registrants. This is because when we publish the list of registrants for the first and second quarter, we found out that 44.6% of all those who registered were multiple or double registrants. We also need time to display the voters' register for claims and objections. And this has to be displayed in the 774 local government areas of Nigeria and in the 8,809 registration areas of Nigeria. Thereafter, we have to print the register, we have to print the permanent voters cards of all the registrants, and then take them back to the local governments, take them back to the registration areas for people to collect these cards. All these activities need time to be accomplished. And so we cannot continue with the CVR ad infinitum. It has to come to an end to enable us concentrate on other activities provided for in the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2023 general election.
Well, let me ask you, Mr. Okoye, because we understand that a group of lawyers had threatened to take this issue to court. If they were to take this to court and get a favorable court judgment insisting that you continue with the exercise within the time frame, just as long as it's before the 90 days, would you or would you not continue?
Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission is a creation of the law and also a creation of the Constitution. The Commission is the only agency, the only organ, the only commission that has been given exclusive right and jurisdiction to register voters, to update the voters register, and also revise the voters register. So to that particular extent, we are very, very confident in our position. Moreover, the SERAP, one of the civil society groups and organizations in Nigeria, took the commission to the Federal High Court, and there has been a judgment. And the Federal High Court affirmed the exclusive right and jurisdiction and the exclusive mandate of the commission to register voters, and also to fix the period for the voters registration to come to an end. And the court has interpreted Section 9, subsection 6 of the Electoral Act, interpreted Section 10 of the Electoral Act, and also Section 19, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act. And so the commission is not afraid of being taken to court. We are only concerned and we are worried that if we continue with this registration ad infinitum, we will not be in a position to make the cards available for those who have registered and for them to show up on election day. Everything we are doing is in the national interest, and we want to satisfy Nigerians and conduct a good election.
Let me ask you, because you mentioned earlier that one of the exercises that you are going to, or one of the exercises you are going to conduct is the cleanup of the register. I want to confirm if that has started because of the double registration, and how many of those registration you have seen to be double registration.
Well, the one that has taken place relates to those who registered between the 28th day of June 2021 and the 14th day of January 2022. It was the cleanup of that particular register that we removed 44.6% of double and multiple registrants. Those who registered from the 15th day of January and the 31st day of July 2022, the cleanup is still going on. We intend to finish that particular exercise as quickly as possible to enable us display the voters register for claims and objections, and also get the permanent voters card of those who have registered ready. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has assured Nigerians that the permanent voters cards of those who registered between the 15th day of January 2022 and 30th day of June 2022 will be ready in October this year. While those who register between the 1st day of July and 31st day of July, their permanent voters cards will be ready on or before November. So we are working hard, and we are working assiduously to make sure that we can get our acts ready and get these cards ready so that the owners can come forward and collect them.
44.6% of double registrations is a lot, because a lot of people were excited by the 12 million figure. It seemed as though a lot of people has registered, but when you start doing the cleanup, it looks like 44.6% looks like it is. We're going to see drastically that 12 million, over 12 million, come down. But with the cleanup you are now carrying out, so far, what is the percentage of double registration? And then what is the implication for those people who have double registration?
Well, what the Commission has done and what the Commission has decided is that for those who engage in double and multiple registration, we will render invalid the registration they did now. But the previous registration they did, we are going to leave that valid. So they can still use their cars with which they registered before for purposes of election. Now, it's rather unfortunate because we engage the social media, we engage the traditional media, we placed adverts in newspapers, we placed adverts on radio and television. We engage community leaders, we engage traditional rulers, and so on. But there were some people who were really out to misinform the people and kept on telling them that their cars have expired. Some of them kept on telling them that the commission was deceiving them by saying that our cars do not expire. And this also led to multiple and double registration. Some people who wanted transfer, rather than apply for transfer, went and registered afresh. Some people who lost their PVCs, rather than report that they have lost their PVCs so that we can print a fresh one for them, went and registered afresh. And this accounts for the number of double and multiple registrants that occurred in this particular registration process. But I think that with more sensitization, better enlightenment, and advocacy, we will begin to reduce the number of double and multiple registrants we record when we are conducting CVR. We made it very clear that what we are doing is not a new registration, that the CVR is for those who have never registered before and those who have turned 18. That every other individual that has registered before, that their names are in our database, and if they have any challenge, they can only report, and we rectify that particular challenge. But some people did not pay attention to what we are doing and what we are saying, and then engage in double and multiple registration.
Let me switch gear to other issues. There are reports about infighting between the leadership of the commission and some resident electoral commissioners over I think it's called the reports of the monitoring committees and the allegations that they are not being tampered with. I want to get to your reaction on that, especially for states where some people say that, look, elections were not conducted in this state, or a primary was conducted in this state and it's a different name that is now on the register. How would you react to that?
There is no form of infighting in the Independent National Electoral Commission. The commission is one. The family is one. The family is united. We are working assiduously to make sure that we deliver in relation to the mandate given to us by the Nigerian people, which is to organize, undertake, and supervise elections. As at the time people were reporting infighting in the commission, we were busy preparing for the Ekiti governorship election, which we have delivered on. As at the time people were reporting infighting in the commission, we were preparing for the Osun governorship election, which we have delivered. As at the time people were reporting infighting, national commissioners were in the states they supervise, trying to supervise the last leg or the last lap of this continuous voters registration exercise. There is no infighting in the electoral management body. All the national commissioners, the 12 national commissioners and the chairman are working very hard. All our resident electoral commissioners in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory are working very hard. All our electoral officers in the 774 registration local governments are working very hard. There is no infighting in the electoral management body. The reports of our monitoring exercise are handled in accordance with our rules of engagement and also handled in accordance with our procedures. So there is no form of infighting. There is no disagreement in the electoral management body. All of us are working and working hard. We made it very clear that if a political party did not conduct primaries, that particular political party will not have any candidate in the election. If a political party conducted primaries but did not conduct valid primaries, as monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission, that particular political party will not have candidate in the election. If a political party thinks that it can manufacture its own report, that is not possible. We have rules and we have mechanisms on how to filter reports from our monitoring teams, and we have been following that assiduously without any let or hindrance. So I want to assure you, and I want to assure Nigerians, that the commission is one. There is no infighting in the commission. There is no disagreement in the commission. All of us are working hard and working hard for the Nigerian people. And we assure the nation that we are going to deliver on our mandate. There is no issues whatsoever around the commission.
But we understand that the commission is under pressure from some political parties to impute the names of people who did not participate in primaries into the register. How are you handling issues around this? I think it was I don't know if he has left now. I think he had about a week left as at last week as a resident electoral commissioner of Akwa Ibom. That's Mike Igini, saying that a particular candidate whose name the party submitted did not participate in the primary. How do you deal with issues like this and the supposed pressure?
Well, as at the time people were reporting pressure on national commissioners, no national commissioner was in Abuja. All the national commissioners were in the states they supervise, trying to supervise the last leg or the last lap of the voters' registration process. In terms of publication of the list and personal particulars of nominated candidates, we have moved away from that stage. We have already passed that stage. Under Section 29, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act, it is the political parties that conducted party primaries that have the responsibility to upload the list and personal particulars of candidates that won party primaries and who emerged from a valid process. Now, under our own procedures, the moment a political party is done with its primaries, we give access code to the national chairman of the political party. One access code, only one. It is that access code they use in uploading the name and personal particulars of their nominated candidates into our INEC candidate nomination portal. We don't give the access code to any other individual except the national chairman of the political party. Now, if a political party conducted primaries and the commission monitored that primaries, and then at the end of the day, a report is submitted to the commission, and then the political party did not upload the name of a candidate that emerged from valid party primaries, definitely the commission is not under any constitutional or legal obligation to publish the name of that candidate. And that is exactly what we have done in relation to some of the areas in contention. And we are going to continue to apply the provisions of the Electoral Act, apply the provisions of the Constitution, and also follow our own rules and procedures in arriving at certain conclusions. We are not under any pressure from anybody. We are looking at the Constitution, we are looking at the Electoral Act, we are looking at our regulations and guidelines for the conduct of election, and also we are looking at our own procedures. We are not listening to any individual. We are not listening to any political party. We are not listening to any pressure group. We are only listening to what the Constitution has said we should do and what the Nigerian people expect from us.
I wish we could talk about some of the loopholes you may have observed within the Electoral Act and the over 300 cases you now have in court where you have been joined as a party in court, but I'm told my time is up. Thank you so much for talking to us. I'm sure we'll have you over and over again as these issues continue to arise. National Commissioner for Information and Voter Education, INEC, Festus Okoye.
Thank you so much.